Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today, once again, we're coming in with a classic Spanish recipe, this time from the region of Catalana, but more specifically the province of Barcelona, where they're famously known for their sunny beaches and having some of the most beautiful architecture in the world. We're talking a Catalan white bean stew. This is known as Alubias Blancas a la Catalana. And let me tell you, this dish is filled with so many amazing textures and flavors. It's easy to make, and the best part, it's all done in about 40 minutes. Folks, serve this dish as a starter, like they do in Barcelona, or even as a main course, as it certainly has enough protein. Either way, make sure to enjoy it next to a bottle of Spanish wine from the region of BROTH. You can have yourself a fabulous meal. This video is sponsored by Tienda.com. The Tienda is an online superstore focusing on selling all things Spain for your home and kitchen, and they've been around since 1996. And like I always tell you, they have the biggest selection of artisan Spanish ingredients like queso manchego, the famous jamón serrano and jamón ibérico, Marcona almonds, olives, the beautiful canned seafood from Spain, and all the basic pantry staples you need, such as jarred white beans, which we're going to use in today's recipe, among so many other great ingredients. And let me tell you, when it comes to cookware, they have an amazing selection of authentic Spanish paella pans that range in size from 2 servings all the way up to 50 servings. And they even offer classic grilling systems, that way you can always perfectly cook your paella. Folks, visit Tienda.com, let them know Albert from Spain on a Fork sent you there, and make sure you use coupon code ONAFORK during checkout for 10% off your order. Alright, let's just dive right into this. I'm going to add in 2 eggs into a saucepan and fill it with some water, just enough to barely cover the eggs. And we'll heat it with a high heat. Once it comes to a boil, we'll place the lid on the saucepan and turn off the heat and leave our eggs to sit there for exactly 10 minutes to end up with perfectly hard-boiled eggs. In the meantime, I'm going to heat a stock pot with a medium heat and add in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 60 milliliters. Make sure you use the good stuff here. This is what truly makes the difference. Leave where you get the Spanish one I'm using in the description box below. While the oil is heating, I'm going to cut 2 slices from a baguette, each one being 1/2 inch thick, which is a little over 1 centimeter. Remove the skins from 4 cloves of garlic and reserve 15 raw blanched almonds. You can also use almonds with skins here if you like. Then we'll add the slices of baguette, garlic, and almonds into the stock pot. And we're going to fry the ingredients between 3 to 4 minutes or until they're golden fried all around. Once the ingredients are golden fried, we'll transfer them into a mortar and set it aside, and make sure to reserve any of the olive oil in the pan. Now, using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in 1 medium-sized onion that's been finely chopped and 3 cloves of garlic that have been roughly chopped. And we'll mix the ingredients around continuously, that way they don't brown too quickly and it all evenly sautés. After about 4 minutes, and the onions are slightly translucent, I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, which is 120 grams. As always, I made mine by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here, which is similar to passata. And we'll season generously with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a few minutes. After about 3 to 4 minutes, and the tomato sauce has slightly thickened, I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of dry white wine, which is 120 milliliters. If wine is not your thing, you can sub it for any broth of your choice with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. And we'll give it a mix, and once again, simmer it for a few minutes. While the wine is simmering, let's start prepping our beans. I'm going to drain a jar of cooked white beans into a colander. This is the same thing as the canned ones, and rinse the beans under some water. Size of the jar that I'm using is 700 grams, which is 25 ounces. Link where you can get the super soft Spanish beans I'm using, known as pochas frescas, in the description box below. After simmering the wine for about 3 minutes and the alcohol's been cooked off, we'll add in the rinsed white beans and 2.5 cups of vegetable broth, which is 600 milliliters. You can also use chicken broth here, beef broth, or even water if you like. Just make sure you're seasoned accordingly if you're using water. And we'll turn it up to a high heat and give it a gentle mix. While the broth is heating, let's move back to the mortar with the pieces of fried bread, almonds, and garlic. I'm going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is about 1/4 gram. 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, which is 8 grams. And a kiss of sea salt. And using a pestle, we'll pound down on the ingredients until we end up with a paste-like texture. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can also use a food processor here, or even a hand blender. Once the broth comes to a boil in the stock pot, we'll add in the bread and almond mixture. And we'll gently mix it until it's well mixed together. And then we'll place the lid on the stock pot and lower the fire to a low heat. And we're going to simmer this for about 10 minutes. That way all the flavors can develop. In the meantime, let's move back to the eggs. Once they're hard boiled and peeled, using a box grater, I'm going to finely shred them. If you don't have a box grater, you can just finely chop them. But I tell you, by using this method, it gives the eggs a fluffier texture. After simmering the beans for about 10 minutes, we'll remove the lid and turn off the heat. Then we'll add in our shredded eggs. And we'll give it a gentle mix until it's well mixed together. And once again, remember to be gentle here, otherwise you can easily break the beans apart. Then we'll transfer some of the mixture into a shallow bowl. And garnish with fresh parsley. Check it out, our Catalan white bean stew is done. Easy to make, restaurant quality presentation, and all done in about 40 minutes. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Once again folks, Alubias Blancas a la Catalana. This looks absolutely stunning. Here we go. Wow, check that out. This right here is what honest home cooking is all about. Because we grabbed such basic ingredients, we got so much goodness out of this. The beans absorbed everything in the pan. The rest of the ingredients, the perfect balance. And then that thickener with the almonds and the bread, taking this to the next level. Easy to make, heart healthy, give it a try at home. Once again, as a starter or even as a main course. Either way, enjoy it next to a bottle of Spanish red wine from the beautiful region of Priorat. Gonna have yourself a fabulous meal. Real quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Daniela Brandt, Patricia O'Brien, and Colin Hohenman. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. Enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below. And if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.